usually have this session. So will you be doing along with the trainer, or you will be doing later after watching the recording? So how do you want it to be?
Actually, we did
Okay.
we did with recording videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, we
After
completed
the
the postman
session.
session. Yeah, so not Atul, Vikas taught us during the session, and after that we watch the session and do the practical.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about Atul's session, the React?
No, no, not Atul.
Sai
Vikas.
Ganesh.
Only
Okay.
Sai Ganesh took the session for JavaScript, HTML,
Mm.
CSS, and React.
Okay. So you don't get chance to attend
Yeah.
Atul's session.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Ganesh's
Yeah.
day.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's okay. But yeah, let's try to do together. But when I try to explain each and everything, like you can just stop. But the installation, everything, if we do together, because we don't have time and we have to show the project by Wednesday. So yeah, so you can just take notes. You can, yeah, the recording is already started, and else you can also do it along with me, the installation, the project creation, everything. So if you have any doubt, you can just stop and ask me then and there.
Okay.
Is it fine?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, good.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah, before we go into the project or learn everything, let's know what is Next.js, and we already have React and it is performing very well. Why do we need Next.js? Why Next.js evolved and why it is so popular nowadays? Why people are preferring Next.js more than React? Okay, we will learn like what is the thing. So yeah, we know React is a library to build the UI components. So it is basically focused on only the view layer. So it helps us to build the reusable UI blocks. That is the component like we will be creating the nav bar, the cards, the buttons, everything. But it mainly focus on view layer. So it does not include routing or API handling or data fetching or anything. So you'll be wondering, so have you done with the routing or API? API, have you worked with API in this? You got to work with API in the React session?
We
Yeah, very
only do the
basic.
dummy API. Just need a practice only.
Okay, okay, okay. Just a minute. So yeah. So you would have done with dummy API, and you would have used installed a React router, right? Did you remember like using React
React,
router or
React
React router,
router,
you
no,
mean?
I
You
think.
mean like we just worked on the basic dummy API to show the data on the web page, nothing else. I think so. We haven't covered this one router.
Yeah, we did with it map method and
okay?
the
How did you do the routing from one page to the other? Like navigating from one page to other?
Kitna, we haven't like created any application, so I don't
Okay.
have idea. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just say you what
Mm-hmm.
will be used. So in
Okay.
HTML, let's take the basics. So in HTML, if you want to navigate from one page to other, so what we will do, we will give the href, right? In the href,
Yeah.
we'll give the other HTML page. So it's like from index to the other page. For example, we have product.html. So if we give, so it will navigate to the other page, right? Did you get this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we want the navigation from one page to other, either on a button click or anything, so when on click, we'll be giving the href. Likewise, in React, we'll be using something called React router. Okay. So it's not like a React by built-in, it gives the routing. Okay. React doesn't provide routing. We have to install external library called the React router to do the routing part. Is it clear?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, and likewise, there are so many things. So, React mainly concentrate on the view part in the sense the UI only. So it doesn't concentrate on the other part like routing or API integration. So we can do API integration, routing, everything with React, but the only thing is we have to install external library like this to do that. So we can simply create the view part only. The view part in the sense the UI components only with the React. So this become a major drawback because for each and everything we are planning to install, so the package is also more, and the project structure is also more, and the files also more. So it is not acceptable by many user based on the file number of files the project holds and everything. The performance also has some issue. So what they introduced Next.js just to overcome all the drawbacks of the React. Okay. So for example, as I said, the first thing is React routing in React. So React routing, since I said we use external library called React router in the React. So in Next.js, we used a file-based routing. So we don't need any external router to be installed and perform the routing. We usually use file-based routing. So you can just use a file like, for example, app slash user slash id or something like we can give slash slash and give the path that becomes our route. So it is very simple. The routing is very simple in Next.js compared to React. And what else we have? And we have fetch data server side. So React, we use only client side. So React is a client side only. You need extra support setup for server side data fetching. So for example, you would have learned React fetches data on the client using use effect. So React use effect to fetch data on the client, or you would also be using the fetch or the Axios. So this means like longer loading times and need for a separate Node.js or backend. So if we want a separate backend, so if we want to do the client side fetching. So React only supports server side fetching. Okay. But Next.js, so here I'll say React, and let's see, this is Nextjs. So Nextjs does file-based routing. And so React only does client-side fetching. Okay. Okay, let's just I don't know, I can't okay. So React only does client-side fetching. So Next.js helps in server-side fetching as well. Okay, we need to change. I have mistakenly done it as server-side. So yeah, Next.js is only server-side. React is client-side. And then what else? What else we do have? So yeah, and React renders HTML in the browser. So React apps are single page applications. So we already know React is a single page application. So this means the content is generated on the server, and yeah, but built in for mainly the browser loads the JavaScript first, and then the content appear. Okay, but in Next.js it supports server-side rendering and static. So it is called. So you would have came across the word SSR, that which is a server-side rendering, and SSG, which is static site generation. Okay, the content is generated on the server. So for example, in the React, there will be some bots for bots like Google or Facebook. Since we load the JavaScript first, then the content appears. So the for bots, our site may look like empty first because they don't load the UI for. So as a viewers, we'll be seeing everything, but on the back end, the Google loads the content, right? For the Google, since the JavaScript load first, for the Google, it looks like there is an empty. Your site may look empty. So it does a bad, which is equal to the bad search engine optimization. So search engine optimization is when we search something. For example, when we search Next.js, so what it does, it shows some contents related to Next.js. So this is called search engine optimization. It is so first one link is appeared at the first, and the other link is appeared at the ranking. And how does the Google knows the ranking? So it is based on the search engine optimization. So here, poor search engine optimization. But since we use SSR and SSG, what it does, it loads content is generated on the server, so the Google bots can see our HTML immediately. So it helps in better search engine optimization. So did you get the point? Like, what is search engine optimization?
Yes.
So
I
these
missed the
concepts,
uh,
yes,
yeah.
Simran.
I missed the third point of React. SPA means
Yeah, single page application
single
means,
page. Okay.
yeah, single page application means JavaScript first loads, and then the HTML loads. Okay. So in the single page in React, we have React is a single page application. Do you know the explanation for it? Like why we
Yes.
call,
Yes. Yes. Single
yeah,
thread. Yeah.
yeah, it use single thread. And if we want to say it as very, very clearly, we use only one HTML in React application, in the entire React application. That is the index something, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is the single page application. It has only one HTML. All the other contents are just painted on based on our user interaction. So that is the very simple example I can give. So what it does is, when we run my code, when I run my code in the browser, the JavaScript load first. All the JavaScripts load first. Since it has only one HTML, it just loads all the JavaScript and then the HTML is loaded. But what it causes? It causes poor search engine optimization, because while doing this process, the Google doesn't know, since the JavaScript is loaded first, the Google doesn't know what it is. The Google only understand the HTML part. So it doesn't know what is the content. So when we search something, when the content is, when the Google doesn't know the content, how it will display in the search. So for example, if I search something like React, so it is first initial, yeah, the first thing is React Dev application has appeared. And then something like React.js, org, and so many videos, W3 schools. So these ranking is search engine optimization. So based on the, when I give React and press enter, the engine searches based on different criteria, based on how much people visits, and how relevant the application. So based on that, it gives that React.dev is the first in the ranking of the searches. So and then it list all the other thing. So if I create something like online shopping application, so if I want my application to appear on the top, my application should have a better search engine optimization. So it is like it should have the proper header. So it should be listed on the top so that the people can visit my site. So yeah, for that only, this is the concept of search engine optimization. And and since JavaScript load first, poor search engine optimization here. Here React gives better search engine. It is not like it gives very poor, but compared to Next.js, it doesn't have a better search engine optimization. So when we develop in our application with Next.js, it gives a better search engine optimization. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what is the next part? The next part is in React, the loading the pages. So in React, the whole app bundle loads in chunks. Okay, for large apps like application, since it is loads and loading, initial loading is based on the bundles or chunks. For large apps, the initial load is slow. So we usually perform manually the code splitting and React lazy loading and dynamic inputs. So, but in Next.js, automatic code splitting per root does. Okay. So what it does is loads in bundle, loads in chunks, I would say. So each and every part is loaded based on the user interference. Okay. So but here, for that, if we want our application to be um, reduce the initial slow, so this loading in chunk cause initial load of the application is slow. For that, we perform code splitting. So we'll split the code manually. Okay. Just remember all these points. So when we work on React in advanced concept, like all the advanced concepts, so you'll be getting to know all this. But just understand, the initial load is slow in React when compared to Next.js, but because what I said, the initial load is slow. If we don't want the initial load to be slow, we perform code splitting manually. Okay, we split the codes manually. So we perform, for example, so I'll say this is the product page, so I'll split the code. So those kind of things we developers do. But in the Next.js, the code splitting is done based on the route. So So we don't need to perform code splitting separately based on the routing we do. For example, the first route, so user slash home page. So it considered as a one code. Then slash product page. So this considered as a one code. So these code splitting is done based on the route. So we don't need to do code splitting manually. This is the one of the advantage of Next.js, and this is one of the disadvantage of the React.js. So is it clear, guys, like what I explained till now? Like, did you get some basic idea of this? Like, why do we need to go from React and Next.js to Next.js?
Yeah.
Yes, Ketan.
Yeah, perfect. So, and one more thing, this is easy to understand for you. The deployment. So in React, okay, in React, the deployment is done separately. So the front end is deployed separately and the back end is deployed separately. So we deploy front end in Netlify and so many deployment tools we have. Netlify, Vercel, Firebase, but the backend we deploy in Render or something. So yeah, in this Next.js deployment is done separately. So in Next.js we already you would have already guessed that deployment is done together. So both the front end and back end together as a full stack we can deploy on the Vercel or other platforms. Okay, so yeah, both front end and back end is deployed together. So these are the major part which I would say the main difference. Difference in the sense, why do we go to Next.js if even having a better React application? So is it clear, guys?
Yes, Ketan.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So now let's go to what we are going to build. So as I said, as you said, like you studied, maybe I'll take new page. So as we discussed yesterday, so you know only basics in React.js. So we'll be um, building a full stack application. So it performs the CRUD operations. So which is very important and very crucial for the beginners to learn. Create, read, update, delete. So we are going to build a full stack application based on this, and as I said, we'll be using Next.js, and then you'll be learning supabase. So and then you'll be what else you'll be learning? You'll be learning Vercel, Vercel deployment, and yeah, so many things like as Jagdish mentioned. So and the main feature is um so how do we do sign up or log in with Gmail. So we'll be doing like sign up or log in with Google accounts. So how it is done, and then CRUD operations, and then you'll be storing the datas in real database, that is the supabase. And what else you will do? Yeah, that's it. The login we do and logout. So all these are included mainly, and file upload also you'll be learning. So these are the major operations you'll be learning. So is it clear? So what you will be learning first, that the thing is like we will be learning email authentication with Supabase, that is the sign up or login with email or Google. And then you will be learning the CRUD operation, create, list, edit, delete. So with this is done using Supabase. And as I said, we'll be using file upload to Supabase storage. And yeah, you'll also be learning the best practices for Next.js and Supabase. So what is the best practices? So is it clear, guys? So what we are going to do, I have given here.
Yes.
So we will go to the doing the project directly. So just give me a minute. I'll just. Just give me a minute. I'm just searching. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Kirtan.
Yes.
Yeah. So while we'll be initially we'll be doing the installation of the Next.js. Okay. So we'll start this using the application. We'll be starting the application using the Next.js. So this is the website nextjs.org, which we'll be using. So this is the official website, and yeah, let's create a folder somewhere. So I'll create a folder in the document. I'll say it as product management. Okay. Let me just open Visual Studio Code. So yeah, we'll create the next application using npm or npx. So I'll just use npx. This is the command for creating the Nextjs application. Npx next hyphen app at latest. So So if you want to create the project name along with this, so you can give a space and give a folder name here. Else, if we didn't give this, when I press enter, install the following package. Yes. Okay, now it will ask for your project name. So either you can give there or you can give here. Okay. So I'll just remove this name. I'll just give maybe already have a folder. So I'll say since we are using Supabase and next, so I'll give super next. Yes. You like to use ESLint? Yes. Yes, we will be using Tailwind CSS. Yes. What else? Would you like code inside the source or directory? No.
Etna, can we undo the step? Like if I click by mistake yes, so how can I do no? Is
Okay.
it
So it's like, for example, you have clicked S. I think you can go up.
like in source directory I've selected yes.
Okay.
Yesterday
Oh
in the
no ways,
YouTube
well
video, it's there.
yeah,
So
that's why I clicked yes.
yeah,
I
me
thought we will
also.
be using.
Okay.
Okay, no worries. We'll create the new folder again, then do no.
So that should be like that there was a way.
Okay.
I'm just on recall. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I've done. There is some shortcut. I'm not sure. Maybe if I find somewhere, I can just tell you. Yeah, I can't.
No worries. Okay.
So yeah, React router, sorry, app router, yes. Turbo pack, I'll click by default, no. So would you like to customize your import alias? So I'll give no for this aspect. So after taking all these inputs, automatically you can see this, the project and the packages are created.
Itana, turbo pack was not used, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's still creating them.
The command is npx create next @latest.
Yeah.
Okay, next app. Okay. In this directory, no. App router, yes. Turbo pack, no.
Yeah.
Okay. By
Yeah, the only
default,
thing I
no.
changed from default is this source directory.
Okay.
I think
Default,
everything
no.
by default what
Okay.
was.
Yeah, done. Okay, now I have installed. Yeah, it's created the folder. Super next.
Yeah. So let's navigate to this folder and then we'll try to run this application. The thing is npm run, just we want to let it know. So if you see here, so our application is running in a localhost 3000. Okay. So this is the thing. So coming to the node packages which we'll be using. So since you are very new to, did you know Bootstrap, guys?
Yes.
Okay, that is perfect. So Tailwind is something similar to Bootstrap. Okay, so what I will do, let's start with the Bootstrap, and then we will discuss how to convert the Bootstrap code to the Tailwind CSS. So I think that in that way, when I simply start with coding with the Tailwind CSS, you won't be understanding what is what. So if I code with Bootstrap and then convert into Tailwind CSS, you will be knowing, okay, in this case, we'll be doing this. In Bootstrap, we'll be doing this, and it is easy for you to understand. So is it okay? We'll start with Bootstrap and then convert it into Tailwind CSS so that you can have a comparison and you can also learn, and it will be very easy for you.
Okay.
So to display messages, we'll be using React Hot Toast. So everything will be very new to you guys. So don't worry. When we try working on it, you'll be knowing what is React Hot Toast. So it is mainly used to, this is a package where mainly used to display message. Okay. So to display alert, so in that case, we use Sweet Alert. So form validation, so we'll be performing form validation since we have sign up everything. For that, we'll be using here. So if you type everything, it will show what is what. But when we when we learn when we start working on it, you will learn practically say what is what. Okay. And we also for forms we'll be using React. Oh, so don't worry, Next.js, as I said, it is very similar to React. It is React, but the only thing is we'll be using TypeScript here and some changes we'll be using, but everything is same as React. Okay. So we'll be using hook form. So these are all the packages name I'm saying. So as I said, Bootstrap, everything. So these two are for these three are for form validation. Yep, React hook form resolvers. Okay. So it is always good to know before starting a project what are all the packages we need. Okay. So as I said, we are using Supabase. For that, we'll be using Supabase slash Supabase JS. Okay. So overall, all these we need to install this Next.js application. So the mainly next we are going to do is to install all these packages. Can you see this? Is it hiding you? Is it clear now? The terminal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what I need to do, I need to install, as I said, I need to install all these packages. So for that, we'll be using npm install. So I don't need to install everything separately. So I want to install everything in one go. So what I am doing, Bootstrap, just concentrate on the spelling. So I'm installing React hyphen hot hyphen toast. And then, as I said, we will be installing Sweet Alert 2. Yep, for schema validation. So React hook form after this, yep, React hook form. After React hook form, and then hook form resolvers, and then finally Supabase. Okay, either I can give type install or I can simply say I. Okay, so before pressing enter, so if I go to package.json, so in the dependencies, where are the dependencies? In the dependencies, if you see, we have only 3 packages: React, React DOM, Next.js. Now we are going to install all this. So yeah, okay. So as I said, npm install you can give or npm I you can give. So when I press enter, everything will be installed. Give some time. There is some form. Okay, this should not be hook hyphen form. It should be hook form resolvers. Let's try once again. So now you can see inside the dependencies after, so now everything has been installed. Now inside this dependency, you have everything. Initially it was React, React DOM and Next. Now you can see everything which we have given. We have given hook form, supabase has been installed, bootstrap has been installed, React hook form, React hot toast, sweet alert, and yep. So this is how you verify the packages.
Mhm.
So what we have done, we have installed all this. Did you got to install all these guys, or shall I share this comment in the chat as well?
Yeah, installed.
Okay.
It's done.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So yeah, we have installed all the packages, and before going to the project, and we'll be doing some file setup before starting the project. So now we'll be doing that. So basically, we need .env .local. So this is the file name. So what is the basic use of the file name? This file is used to create the environmental variable of this application. Okay. So we need this file .env.local. So and also inside this I'll store supabase keys. So we'll be having keys. So we'll be storing it here. So then I'll be having lib. So inside this file, so we'll be having supabase object. So don't worry, we'll all be creating, then you'll be knowing this. But before that, when someone asks you in this project, what are all packages you have installed, other than the basic setup, what are all the files you have created, why you need all these files, then you should be in a place to explain this what I am giving now. So you should explain this, so that why for that only I'm explaining. And then we need a folder called context. Okay. So inside the context, we'll be using, we'll be having reusable functions, and that is a custom hooks, as I said, which can be reused. Okay. And then next, what else I need? And it is obvious we'll having a folder called components. Inside this components, so here we have some reusable components like example navbar. Navbar we'll be using in every page. So we don't create a navbar each and every time. So coming to the folders, inside the app folder, we need to create something called /auth, which is the authentication, okay? Inside this, I'll create login, register. So these are all for the authentication part, which we are going to learn. The login, register, and we'll be having profile. So these are all the files which we are going to create manually by ourselves for our project. Okay, and then we'll be having dashboard. So as I said, these are all the files and the folders which we are going to create inside our Next.js project. So I'll just share. These are all the packages. I'll just share in the chat. So it is easy for you to. So these are all the packages, and the other thing is these are all the files and folders. So in interview point of view, if you have this in your GitHub or portfolio, or you are explaining all this, then the interviewer will ask, so what is the initial setup? So everyone can explain the functionality, that is easy. So we know, so what we'll be learning, it is like edit, update, adding, deleting, everything. So we can explain that easily, but only the thing is these kind of packages and the files which we use, the file structure, everything we can explain only when we manually do the project. So when they explained about what you initially created and what are all the extra packages you have installed and why do you need the packages, everything they will ask. So when you explain this, and they'll be understanding, okay, they know what is what, and they have installed and they have worked really the same way. These kind of files which we create manually now, so these are all the thing which we differ from the other people. So the interviewers will know that you know everything in depth, so you know the entire project. This is the part when you explain, this is the part where the interviewer will know you know the entire project. So these file setups and packages only many people will lack. Functionality we can use, even using chat gpt. If you can say I want some editing code, like a code to edit an application, give me a code, it will give. But these file structure, once you understand the concepts and once you know what is needed only, you can explain. So you cannot just give chat gpt and it will give something else based on its requirement. So this is one of the important things which we have to explain. So I'm explaining it, taking time and explaining this. Files and folders required. Is this way is clear, guys? Like this way of explanation is clear? Like how do you?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Okay. So what I said, we need to create a local env.local. So let me create. So it is coming inside the app. No, just a minute. Okay. Coming inside this app. Just a minute. It should. New file. Yeah, now it is fine. Before I click the app, so it was created inside the app. So when I click on supabase.next, so I want .env.local. So our env.local file is created. Then what else I said? We need lib. This is the folder. So this is a file and this is a folder. So if I go here, if I click lib, so library folder, and then I said we need context folder. So what I'll do, same way, context. What else we need? We need components folder. Then I said we are going inside the app folder. Inside this app folder, we are going to have an auth folder. So we are going to have auth. So now inside the auth folder, let's create folder called login. And then after that, we have register. And then okay, login and register appear together. So be mindful with this, guys. Okay. I need to delete this one. Create this properly. Okay. So as I said, inside this auth folder, I have login. So I will select auth again. Inside this auth, I have register folder. And inside this auth, I have profile. And inside this auth, I have dashboard. So yeah, all the required files has been created now. Did you created all the files, guys? Are you able to do this one?
Yes, inside auth, login profile, dashboard and register. Okay. Just created.
So now we have created our required files. .env, live folder, context folder, components folder. Inside the app, we have all this. So now let's go to the .env.
Inside this register is inside profile.
No,
Okay,
it is.
no. Yeah. Okay.
So before this, as I said in the what I explained here, file used to create the environment variable for this application and the supabase keys. Okay. So to create a supabase key, first we need to register in the supabase account. Okay. So let's go to supabase. I'll just open this. I will just sign in. I'll sign in using maybe my GitHub account. Okay, this is the organization within the okay. Okay, maybe I'll try another way. Just give me a minute. Okay, just signed in. So yeah, new organization, it can have the same name. Create organization. Okay, we need a database password. Okay, I didn't give the you can give the project name. Yeah, you can just change according to your wish. So yeah.
This project is all about login, like
Yeah, it is basically
product manage
Supabase is mainly used for the login authentication, I would say.
authentication. No, can you suggest the project name? Like
Maybe we can use the same name as Supabase Nextjs app.
okay, okay.
So since this is your first one,
Hmm.
so it is good to give this name. So I didn't give that name, but it's okay. I don't know if we can edit or not. I haven't explored this much.
Supabase Nextjs app.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So we can write the name with space or using
Yeah,
the
you can write
hyphen.
the name with space.
Okay.
Supabase space Next.js space app. Yeah, maybe we can S caps, N caps, and
Okay.
so if you come down, you'll be having what connection do you plan and data API. So go with the default value. So if you scroll down, you'll be seeing the data API configuration, Postgres type. So everything is default. Okay. Can you see those things when you scroll down after the country or something?
Next tab and create where?
So can you
Authentication and all.
API, everything you'll be
Yes.
okay. Yeah, everything is by
Another
default.
reason.
So don't select any other thing. Everything keep it in a default and then finally create a new project. Yeah.
Should we have to do anything in this page where we are saying this project API key?
No, you shouldn't do. Or maybe just Humani, can you share your screen
Okay.
so that I can just because since I clicked create new project, I couldn't explain that part. Like okay, your project is created. Okay, yeah, this is correct. Yeah, your project is created. That's it. So I'll see Supabase Nextjs -app. So after this, I'll let you know like what is the next thing we are going to do.
Okay. So shall I stop sharing?
Yes. Yeah. So we have created the project, and if we come down here, we have project API. It just provided project URL and the API key. Okay. So what we have to do next is simply copy this project URL and paste it in the env dot um, uh, local variable. Okay, so what we are going to do, these are all the basic setups, so you wouldn't have done anything before, but it's good to know all this. Okay.
Mm.
So I'm going to create a variable here. Variable is just giving the name to it. Okay. So what it is next, public, you can give any name, but this is the recommended way. So it is suggesting here, it's see. So what I'm going to do next, public supabase URL equal to the URL which we have here. That is the project URL. So this is the variable name to store the project URL. Okay. Supabase project URL. And then we need to store the key. Then we are going to create one more variable. Supabase underscore ANN key. ANN underscore key. So this is the key which we are having here, the public key which we are having here. Just click copy and in this part just paste. Okay. So we have
Kirtan,
stored, yes.
yeah. Have you installed any extension? Because when I am writing the variable name, it is not suggesting me. So,
Okay. Yeah, I have installed Copilot GPT,
okay. Okay.
but I would say initially, since you're working with Next.js, it's good to type everything. Since I have used all these before, so it is suggesting, and I got
So,
used to this. So initially, as
okay.
a beginner, not to install anything, just type so that you remember each and everything.
Okay, Kirtan.
So yeah, so this is our supabase URL and this is our supabase in and key. Just save this file. So yeah, this is where, as I already explained, we'll be having the supabase keys here. So we are storing the URL and the ANN key here. So yeah, we'll be learning like why do we need this? What is the use of this? This is mainly used to connect our application with the supabase. Supabase stores the data, just like database and authentication, everything. It handles everything. So yeah, so in the env dot local we store these two. Okay, it's clear. Next, let's go to lib folder. So as I said, so the lib folder will have one file that returns the supabase client object. Okay, so let's go to the lib folder. I'm going to create a file name called supabase client.ts. So supabase client C caps. So this is the naming convention here. Dot ts. So which is a TypeScript file. Okay. So sorry, S should be caps. So this is the naming convention here, naming convention of the file. So inside the supabase, I'm going to import the create client. So this create client comes from the create client comes from supabase/supabase.js, which we have imported. This package already we have installed, and then I'm going to say maybe from next class I will also try to disable this. So then we have a variable supabase URL, and what I'm going to say from the process. Okay. So process is a variable in Node.js. Inside the process, we have environmental variable, that is .env env dot local. Inside the env dot local, what do we have? So we have our next public supabase URL. We are going to copy this one and then we are going to paste this. Okay. So in the supabase URL, I'm storing the public supabase URL. So the syntax is it should have an exclamation. Okay. Then the same does with the supabase anon key. So as I said, the process will have the process is a Node.js process, which is default present in the Node.js. It stores the env. The env, what is our env is having? Env is having supabase URL. Now we are going to map the supabase anon key. The same process we does here. So what I have done here, supabase anon key. So this constant supabase anon key has process dot env dot next public supabase anon key. So successfully we have the supabase URL and the supabase anon key in a constant variable. So why we installed a create client this thing? Because we need to export this URL and supabase anon key when we need the connection. So what we are going to do, export constant supabase just a minute. So here I'm going to, yeah, someone was talking. Okay.
No problem.
So I'm going to export the supabase. So everything is variable. So you can give any variable, but this is the recommended one. So inside the create client, we can give two things. That is the supabase URL. So what I'm doing is importing the create client, and inside the create client, I am exporting the supabase URL and the supabase anon key. Export in the sense it will um, deliver. So wherever it is needed. So is it clear till now, guys?
Yes.
So I'll just, is it confusing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, this
Right.
must this must be confusing, but yeah. So that only I'm going slowly. So I'll
Okay.
just give a quick recall. So we just install all these packages. Since I have given everything, you have installed all these packages, and we know each and every packages what do we need. Bootstrap, React. I have explained each and everything, and then I said we need these files and folder structure. So, and I have explained this. So environmental file, local file has supabase. Supabase key in the sense it is like a key to access our supabase. So this supabase is somewhere here. This is our URL and this is the API key. So if we don't have API key, then it is not secure. API key is like a password to our own supabase account. So we have our project URL and we have a password. Consider it as a password like the API key. So in the environmental, mostly in environmental local, we'll be having all these keys and URL. So our application has to connect to Supabase, right? So, but the application doesn't know what is our Supabase URL or what is the password. So I am saying, so this is the Supabase URL and this is the key for my Supabase URL. I'm just storing it in a variable. This is simple. This is simple. Is it clear till now?
Yes.
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 Yeah. And then what I'm saying, inside the library, I'm importing a create client from the Supabase. So I'm storing the Supabase URL. So you cannot directly access the environmental variable. So it's environmental local is like just storing the value. Okay. So this will be hidden mostly because when someone sees this, they will know some URL and anon key is there. But this environmental.local is for the security reason. So no, not anyone can see this. Okay. So so what I'm accessing is from the process env. I'm saying the store my Supabase URL in this constant variable and store this anon key in the anon key variable. We store to this. And what I'm doing, export Supabase. So this now this Supabase has Supabase URL and the Supabase anon key. Is it clear now?
Yes. So basically here we are using the keys we have we have kept in the env.log
Log.
environmental local.
Because these keys are secure. Okay. So when we
Okay.
working in a company, only certain people have access to this. because for the security reason, only certain people will have access to all this, and they will lock this environmental this file. Okay, so if you want to open this file, you need some. So it's not like every developer can see the company's user, knows the company's secret usernames and passwords, everything. There is some, there might be some threatening, right? Anyone can misuse this. Mostly some people will have only the access, this will be locked, and they will say it will be inside the environmental folder, and it will be in this name. What you will do, you will just access this. So instead of doing this inside the supabase URL, you can directly give this URL. That is, it will also work. In the anon key, I'll just create an anon key and just give this key. But the thing is privacy. So for developers, they will, somebody will create this and they will say it is inside the folder and we are going to access using this. Do you understand why we are storing it in env and then accessing it via this process?
Yes.
Yeah. So now let's close this file. Okay. Now I'm going to let's go to the app folder and let's open layout.tsx. Now let's remove the default code. That is this metadata we need. We don't need these. So these are all the fonts. So we don't need by default fonts. We don't need all this. And I'm going to remove the imports as well. So I only need the metadata. Okay. Some error. So inside this, I'll say the title. Okay. Nextjs with Supabase. Supabase application, I would say. So I'll remove this description and it is clear. Our project title is Nextjs Supabase application. So this metadata is nothing but when we do the search engine optimization, when we show it as metadata, the Google knows, Google reads this title and it will say, okay, next, if someone searches Nextjs Supabase application, if our application is online, it will fetch our application. So that is the reason we are using metadata. So here we have, so let's remove this class name attribute. So let's save this. And one more thing, we know like we are going to use the bootstrap. Okay. So what we will do, we will just simply import the bootstrap. Import, so it will be like bootstrap dot css dot we can change it as Supabase with CRUD application. So yeah, this layout has everything. Layout is nothing but the design. So here we have everything, and we have installed Bootstrap as well to do the Bootstrap styling. Okay.
Oh, what does it mean, the path we have given after the name Bootstrap?
Bootstrap, this slash CSS slash Bootstrap, this thing.
Yes.
So it is nothing but we have installed a package called Bootstrap, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Path.
that
Okay.
yeah, that package. Maybe I can give in the is it clear now?
Yes.
It's like the package we install we need to access the bootstrap.min.css. To access this, we are just providing the path.
Okay.
Is it clear? Is it clear, Himani?
Yes.
Yeah. So now let's try to, since we have installed Bootstrap and we have removed everything, now let me run the code. Let's so now you can see it is in a different way because we have changed everything. So we have changed the layout and we have changed everything. We have here the body, and we have imported the Bootstrap, and we have removed so many files and so many styles. So because of this, it is appearing like this, 1, 2, everything. But yeah, but don't worry. Let's when we start code, we don't need all this. So when we start working on it, it will get used to it. So this is all about the bit customization of layout.ts. So we have customized the layout based on our requirement.
Okay.
So what next? I'll go to the auth folder, and we have 4 different folder called dashboard, login, profile, and register. So according to the Next.js, this is the rule. If we want the routes, these are all the routes. It's like the login. If I give this name login here, it will go to the routing part. So it will be like slash what we give here, login slash profile. So this is the routing name as well. Okay.
Yes.
So according to the Next.js application, we need to create Page.tsx for each and everything. Okay. So inside the dashboard folder, Page.tsx. So this is auth is basically for authentication. That is authentication in the sense routing. So when login is successful, only the dashboard will appear. And yeah, likewise, when we click on each and everything based on the success or unsuccess rate, each and everything is appeared. So these are all the routes. And just remember, to create a route, we need the page.tsx, and we need to create the folder, and inside the folder we should have page.tsx. So inside the login, I'm going to have page.tsx. And inside the profile, I'm going to have Page.tsx. Inside the register, I'm going to have Page.tsx. Is it clear? So this is basically the routes. Dashboard is one route. Route in the sense, in the application, you will be having slash something. So here, supabase dashboard. If you see here, this you can see in this application, you see dashboard here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This dashboard is nothing but, so not in supabase application, they would have created something inside the auth folder, something like this. It will be having page.tsx. So dashboard is the route name, and what the route should do will be provided in the page.tsx. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, kid.
Yeah. Perfect. So these are all the basics. So we have some more file configuration. I'll just do that one. So everything has page.tsx now. Just a minute, guys. Yeah. So we have created page.tsx for everything. So it is nothing but, for example, just to precisely give you an example. So this is our application. So auth slash dashboard. This name, it will appear like this. And when it is inside the login, the same. Auth slash login. This is the route. This is called the route. I think it will be clear now. So to work this part, that this part should be, if we want this part should be working, the route should be working, we need page.tsx for it. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we created page.txs in each folder. Okay. So now let's go to the page.txs in each folder. For example, I'll go to dashboard.txs. So I will do export default. I'll do function dashboard. Okay. For the time being, let's return some, maybe some comment, I would say. H1. So this is the dashboard page. Okay. If I save these changes and if I go back to the browser and do, after this project URL, if I type auth slash dashboard, Hit enter. Can you see this is the dashboard page? So what we have given, we have just exported the function and it returns this is the dashboard page. So I have done this here. So the same way, if I do for login, export, okay, this is not TSX, TES. So export, default, so function login page, I'm returning something similar to there. This is login page. So if I remove dashboard and if I give login, login is the file is this one. If I give login, so it should navigate to the login page. So this is the main use of why this is why we have created auth login and page.tsx. Is it clear?
Yes, Kata.
Yeah. So these are the important things. So I'm taking it up slowly so that you guys can understand. So if you have any doubt, just ask me. Okay. So don't hesitate to ask. So yeah, this is how the same way I'll just do for profile. So inside, but later we'll be changing the content. In this return, we are just returning the H1, but later we'll be changing into the real content. So I'll say profile page. This is the okay. This is how you do. Okay. So coming to the components folder. So as we see, we don't have any files inside this. Okay. So initially, the first component which we are going to create inside the component folder is the navbar component. So yeah, start. And then the loader. So inside the components. Bar and loader. So is loader component is mainly used to have a loading icon whenever something is loading. So now let's try to create these two. So let's create a file called then loader.tsx and then navbar.tsx. Navbar. So inside this whole loader, let's return a loader. Okay. And let's return. Okay. Let's return something here. But for time being, let's return some h1 tag. Okay. Better to use fragments here. And this is a loader. Okay. And finally, export default loader. Oh, wait a second. Okay. So now I'll copy this whole skeleton and then, oh, it is in Navbar. Okay. We have just mistakenly coded in Navbar. It's okay. I'll just place in the loader folder. In the Navbar, instead of loader, I'll just change it into Navbar. So yeah, so we have created Navbar and the loader. We have just created the basic structure. So is it like the basic HTML which we need for the entire application? No. So we just need some skeleton, that is which we have something called the page.tsx or index.html. Similar to that we need to have. So now let's go to the testament. Is it clear till now?
Yes, click now.
Yes, correct.
A minute. Okay. I think 10:50. So we'll take some quick 15 minutes break. So I think it will be too long. So if we sit for 12 till or 12:30. So we'll take a very quick break till 10:15. Is it okay for you guys or you need a much longer break?
No, for
Okay.
me it's fine till when? 11:15.
10:15. 10:15 we can have some break.
No, it's 10:50 now. So
Sorry,
11:15.
11:15. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God. I thought
Okay.
like it is 9:50. But it's too much. I know it will be too much. Initially, learning some new framework, we need some relaxation. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So if we will meet back in at 11:15. Okay. Let's have some break.
Okay.
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 Yeah. You can just stay here. We can just mute and go. Yes, guys. Is everyone back? Shall we resume?
Yes.
Yes, Ketan.
Perfect. Yeah. Is it clear till now? So I'll just give you before start coding, I'll just give you a short recap. So I'll just share my screen. So we discussed React versus Next and advantage that is the advantages and disadvantages, and we discussed about the project overview and functionalities. So I said what we'll be doing. We'll be doing the authentication and everything, CRUD operation, as I said, and I have explained that. And we have discussed about the tech stack, what we are going to use, the Nextjs, supabase, and what else, Tailwind, everything. And then we discussed about the installation of Nextjs. And we have installed the Nextjs and packages. We discussed about the packages used and we install them. And then we discussed about the file structure. That is what are all we create, what are all the files we needed. That is the env.file and everything. And then we have done file configurations. And then what we have done, we have created the Supabase account, and we have connected Supabase URL and key in the application. And what else? We have created authentication routes. And then what else we have created? Do you remember what else we have done? What else we have done? And we have created the loader and loader
Navbar.
yeah, exactly. And Navbar component. Is it clear with this, guys? So
Yes.
Yes.
yeah. So it's not like you can understand 100%. At least, did you understand 80% what we are using, why we are using what we did?
Yes, Ketan.
Yeah, okay. Yes, okay, done. So we have discussed about the authentication routes, everything, and we have created the loader and the navbar component. And as I said, what is the use of loader component and the navbar? So now let's start coding the navbar. Initially, we'll code the loader, okay? So where is the loader? I'll remove this is the loader. So we are going to code the actual code. So I'm going to inside this div, I'm going to give an ID to it, loader, and then I'm going to give a class name. All these you would have learned earlier. So if you have any doubt, just stop me and ask. So deflex, what is deflex? Can anyone?
Flex direction.
Yeah. So, and then justify, I'm going to say the directions. Justify display flex, justify content to center. I'm going to make it as center. And I'm going to align the items to center.
I think you misspelled CEN.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
an
Thank you. Align items. Sorry, there is some issue with my keyboard. Please bear with me. Items center and VH. 2,000. Sorry, 100. So let me just go the. And then what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to have there, and I'm going to have a class name. Sorry, children. It is a class name. And I'm going to take a spinner. Just a minute, I'll just change the keyboard and come. Give me 2 minutes. The thing is, when you code something, you should be able to explain each and everything. When you put your code in your GitHub or portfolio, you must be able to explain each and everything. Nothing will be asked other than the project. So when they started to ask the uh, question, so yeah. So as and this line will be like very familiar with you. Display flex, and then I'm horizontally centering the content. Justify content center. Align items vertically center so that it centers in the whole page. And VH 100 means makes the div takes up the full viewport height, 100% visible on the screen. And then we have spinner border. So spinner border is a bootstrap class for a rotating spinner. Spinner border and text primary. You might have known if you worked with a bootstrap, applies the primary theme color. So it is usually blue. So primary and role status is mainly used to improve the accessibility. So letting the screen reader knows it's a status indicator. So it is mainly for the screen readers. Okay. And then we have, what happened? Just a minute. Okay, we have two.
I think the C bracket, return, and the
I think
parenthesis.
if we use this this thing, the fragments. Have you done with the fragments concepts? This is not allowing. Yeah, this is what you are saying. So sorry.
Yes, yes,
What
yes,
you
the
are saying?
parenthesis. Yeah,
Oh, you are
parenthesis.
saying like I missed this parenthesis.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. I thought like you were asking question on this. What is this?
No, no.
Yeah, sorry, I misunderstood.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so this, and then I have created a span and I have mentioned it as loading. So this class name visually hidden is for the screen readers. So it says loading, even though it is visually hidden. Okay. So this is the explanation for this. So it is a simple loader which we have created. Okay, so it is done now. So now let's go to the, okay. Is it clear for you guys? Do you have any doubt in any of the property?
No, just a second. I'm writing the span line.
Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Okay, done. If you have any doubt, as I said, like you can just ask me right away so that when you revise after the class, you just revise just the concepts and you will make it remember in your muscle memory rather than learning each and everything. So okay, in this class utilize to learn each and everything, so when you revise you should understand, okay, this is what this, that's it.
Yeah.
So now let's go to the nav bar. Let's change this. So initially, so I'm going to give NAV. You know, NAV is mainly is the semantic HTML tag for the nav bar.
Yes.
I'm going to give the class name and I'm going to give it as navbar and navbar expand. I'll just explain what is. If anyone knows this, you can just give me an explanation. And then, okay, I'll just explain this. So this navbar says navbar expand LG. So this means it is responsive navbar that expands on the larger screen. So it is for the what you will say, it is the responsiveness of the application, I would say. So the navbar is expanded when it is a large screen. We don't mention a fixed width for our navbar. It is expanded when the screen extends. Okay, so this is the main explanation for this. And PX, I'm going to give 4. It is horizontal padding and background color. I'm going to give it maybe, okay, before background color, you have to give style. Fine. Okay, sorry. This comes under this. And then I'm going to have the style. I'm going to give the background color. background color. So I have already done some part of this. So where I have used a color something like this. 343A40. Why? So this is the background color of this. Yeah, this is obvious. This is very easy to. It's like the background color is dark. So dark gray. It comes under somewhere under a dark grayish color. And then what else we do have? So the next part is okay, this map. Let's close this empty thing. So and I'm going to create a link. So in HTML, we'll be using a, right? Anchor tag. So in Next.js and React, we'll be using an anchor tag as well. In Next.js, we will be using link. Link is used to represent the link anchor tag. So link is nothing but the anchor tag. So here we use link. So I'm going to give the class name and I'm going to give navbar. The same. So Navbar brand. I'm going to give the brand. Brand name styled with it's the Navbar's brand name styled with white text and bold font. So what I have given Navbar brand and WF is bold. The font is bold and the text is white. Okay. And then for time being href after this for time being href is empty for now. So it's like the home page, I would say, just the slash. The link name is SuperNext. I'm going to name the project as SuperNext. So when we click on this SuperNext, it goes somewhere, but we'll mention in the upcoming part. Okay. So this is done. But how this link is coming? Because we have to import the link. Okay, it is taking as HTML something property. So before taking up the link, okay, I have given small. So if I give import link from next dot link, I'm changing it to capital. So this is nothing but the anchor tag, okay, which we use in the other part, like the in HTML and the React, we'll be using anchor tag, right? This is similar to this, but the next has some no, the node modules has next slash link, which is used for creating the link. So link is done, and then we'll be having a division where I'll be having the class name MS Auto. So MS, does anyone know what is MS Auto? I think you would have worked with it.
March.
Yeah. Yes, I could see someone has said something.
Margins.
Yeah, it's like it pushes the links to the right. So it's similar to that, yeah. Margin small. So do you able to recall Bootstrap clearly? Or still you need some refreshment of the refreshing of the topics there.
Oh, yeah. Sai shared one small video, which is of 1 hour. So we will watch again.
Mm-hmm.
In the
We'll watch
video,
again
there
today, so
is
we'll get.
mainly the video is goes to just need to copy the code from Bootstrap and import it in the project. Like there is already default code is there, right?
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Uh,
Okay.
Uh,
So it's
else,
okay. But it's okay. You can also start learning Bootstrap. But I'll just explain each and every part. As you said, it pushes to the right. That is the margin start. So yeah. So just for my understanding. So if this is the problem, I'll just explain each and every part of this so that you will get a understanding. But when you start working on real projects and when you start working on so many projects only, you will get um, the properties, Bootstrap properties. But no worries, I'll just explain. So I'm going to create a link and I'm going to give a class name to the link. It has some property. Let's come to the property later. And then I'm going the link name as dashboard. I'm going to have in the navbar. This is the navbar, okay? The navbar I'm going to have dashboard, and then the class name is me3 margin inline and the text should be white and the text decoration is none. This is simple. And then I'm going to, since we have already created the since we have already created the route, we know the href is auth/dashboard. So this is one link. I'm going to copy the same and do it for the only the naming changes. So instead of dashboard, we'll be having profile. Okay, and then here I'll have profile. This div, I have two divisions. One div, I have dashboard and the profile. I'm going to do the same, and in the other, I'm going to have home and the login. So div. So I'm going to do the same class name, margin, and I'm going to create two links, class name for the link, and I'm going to say it as the same. ME margin inline end is 3, the text is white, and the text decoration is none. None is none. And then the same we have href, and since it is home, I'll say just a slash and I'm going to give it as home. The same I'm going to do link, have the login.
We have created the dashboard link also. So where it is?
Dashboard is something different. The home is something different here.
So no, you have deleted the dashboard, Dev?
No, it's in the above. Yeah.
Okay.
Ah,
So
okay.
Yeah.
so I just minimized it.
Can you minimize the terminal so see?
Yeah, sure. Can you see it now?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, try to understand each and every part and then code. In future, if someone asks you will explain it.
Okay.
So where did I left? So I've created one more link and we have created href auth login and I am going to say it as login. So these will appear as a link. When we click on the link, I have given the href, it navigates to the respective place. So if you see, we have two divs. Before that also I have a link which is named as supabase. And yeah, since we have login, there should be a logout button as well. Let's have the logout button after this. So we'll create a button and I'm going to give a class name to the button and I'm going to say it as logout. Okay. So inside the button, it is something like this button btn and change the keyboard tomorrow. btn hyphen. So we have created one more button, which is the logout button. Is it clear for you guys? Do you have any doubt in this? So if
Can
you
you
don't know like BTN danger, so it's a bootstrap button class combined used to style the buttons with the red attention. So typically used for what you'd say. So it has some red theme. Usually for important actions like logout or everything, we use BTN danger.
can you open this one, the last one, the home div?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Done.
shall we continue?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is any Error here. Just okay. Since we didn't mention the page.tsx, so it says starts by editing page.tsx. So we need to create initially the basic structure in the page.tsx. So in the app, where do we have page.tsx? Here we have page.tsx. So all these content is the content which we see here. So when I remove all this, it will be empty. So this is the main home page. So here now we are going to code the content. So what is the content we are going to? So export default. So we don't need an image which was already used. Okay, I'm going to remove this. Let's start on the top. We'll be having a navbar. So we have already coded one bar here. Just a minute. Inside the components. So I'll come to the point where we will reuse it. Let's let's copy this class, everything. And I'll just place it here. Okay. Navbar is done. And then inside we have link. Okay. First, let's save this and then see what we have in the browser. So we have some background color here. You see? So this is the background color.
Yeah.
This is the navbar which we have applied. So now let's do the other part. So I'm going to have the link. Okay, I have to import link. So if you see, when I paste this link, the super base is appeared. So since I have given the text white, it is appearing in the white. So super base next, and then let's try to do the next part. That is the MS Auto and login. The profile is also okay. Only we'll do not this button login logout. We'll do only the home and login for now. We'll make it appear. The page.tsx. If you go to the see now we have a nav bar with home and login links. Okay. So we will connect. So since we have already have login link, when I click on the login, it is going to the dot login. So this is the nav bar. The nav bar is completed. Then in the home page, we have a div. Inside the div, let's have why Navbar is throwing error. Have the class name. Okay. Let's place everything inside the React fragment. Okay. So after this nav, after create some welcome part or get started or something. Okay. So div class name. I'm going to it as container and text to be centered. I want this to be appeared centered, and padding y is 5. Okay. And then I'm going to have a header there. So after the navbar, we'll be having header. I'm going to give a class name with the margin sum of 5. Okay. And after the paragraph, the button. This is my plan. So I'm going to give a heading with a class name, display, maybe welcome to Supabase, and I'm going to have a paragraph here. Just this is all just for the visual look, and I just want to know, want to explain what is this website is about, since I have given the header. So give a class name, lead. Don't want a muted text. Okay. And I'm going to say what is what is this? A powerful maybe maybe a Next.js application. Application maybe with Supabase integration. This is the description of my website integration. Okay, so I've given a paragraph, and what else I'll give? I have a button. Okay, I'm going to say button get started. So and then for the give some class and we have to do some bootstrap styling. So btn primary button, and then btn lg. So this is for the mobile view. So now let's. So did you understand? I have given an heading and then a paragraph
Yes.
and then a button. This button has btn primary. As I said, btn danger will appear in red. btn primary will appear in blue. So this is one part, and then I'm going to give. Have you completed this, guys? So should I give the code in the chat, or you'll do by yourself?
I have completed.
Okay.
Completed. Can you just open the navbar once?
Yeah.
Okay, Getam.
Yeah, okay. Okay, then let's go to the next part, which is the other hmm, okay. So I'll minimize this so that it will be easy for you to understand. So we have created a navbar and we have created a this content. Okay, what I have done, have just simply done the navbar, like I have copy paste the code, but this is not the way. First I'll say the order common I will say the proper coding, and I will say how to reuse the navbar from here. So do you know how to reuse the navbar from here? If you know, it is very simple for me.
Import.
So do you have any idea how to, because we already have the code here.
Yeah, we just have to import.
Exactly. What else we have to do? We just have to import and then just add it here. Like link. So what I have done, I'll just remove. Is this clear now? Before we were just manually coding. Since we already have the code there, I have just imported from there. And this is the way of using it.
Kitna, can you go to navbar.tsx once?
Yeah.
Okay, cons navbar. Okay, so the function name n is in small, but when we import it, we have written n in capital in the tsx. This one, page tsx. Yeah, in the
Oh,
final one, import.
this one. This one
Yes.
you're saying. Ah,
Yeah.
this is
So,
the name we are giving just to import here. So this is
okay.
the import. After this, any name you can give. It's like a variable from this component. That's it. It's not
Okay.
like you have to use the same word. It is just labeling it, storing this component in this variable and just using that variable. Is it clear?
Okay. Yeah.
So this doesn't link with this. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, uh, while doing React, you were just doing this way, like you thought like the same name you have to.
Yeah, the function name. Yes.
No, no. In every import, see, in this import also in the link, I have just given something link. So I can also give something like ABC. This ABC also does the same work as link. I can give here ABC. Just it is
Okay.
a variable just for the usage. That's it.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yes. Now I
it's,
understood.
yeah. But the best practice
Mm.
is give it in a proper way. So usually for, you cannot give ABC. When I see your code as a developer, for
Mm.
example, if you hand over your code to me, when I want to continue the code, when I see as a developer what is ABC, I'll think. But this is the standard way. This is called the best practice. Okay, you can get output from in any other by using any other variable, but best practice is this. So yeah, for this also you have to use a relevant. Here I can use anything. If I use something as n and I use n here, it will work. It will work the same. See, it will work the same. Still the navbar is there, but only the naming part is it is the best practice to give a navbar like.
Mhm. Okay, now I understood. Whatever name we are giving, so the same name we will use as component we are adding here
Yes,
in
exactly.
Page.tsx.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the use of import. Like in after import, if we are giving something, it's our name which we are going to use in the code. Okay. Minute, I'll just connect my charger. Was searching for it. Yes, I'm back, guys. So yeah, is it clear? So we just use the navbar from there here. So now the navbar is appeared here. And then we have created one div. So I'm going to create one more after navbar. We have a div, and this div I'm going to name it as header because it is the proper way of naming header sections, since we need to use the semantic HTML. And then I have a section. Okay. Inside this section, I'm going to have class name with a row grid of 4. Okay. Row G4. Class name row G4. And then I have a division which has some explanation to it. It is like a card. Okay. So card component, I would say, just for the understanding. And I will have a div, and inside the div I'm going to have a class name. Class name. I'm going to column margin with 4, and then we are going to have a div with okay, this div. I'm going to I'm going to name it as card, and the bootstrap class I'm going to give shadow of small. Inside this I have the card body. This inside this I'll have a card body. So inside the card body I'll be having an heading and paragraph. So we'll be repeating the same for the other. So when we code this, we can copy paste for the other. Div last name card body, and I'm going to have a card title and a card text. Okay. So it is by default it is appearing, but I'll give a proper minute. More closing div. Okay, as I said, I'm going to have a class name and card title. I'll say, so it is like the feature, fast and secure, I will say. So we are explaining our application. So our application will be fast and secure, and then built with Nextjs and supabase for speed, and maybe we can say like this. We can say like this, the description. Built, what is built with Nextjs, ensuring high power and security. So this is one card. When we see the output, you will be understanding it. So if you see here, so this has been applied. So I have given the card component and everything. So let's do the other part and then align this. What it is. I said we'll be repeating the same. So I'm going to copy the card MD4 and I'm going to repeat in the next and then the next. So we should have three here. So we have three, but we need to change the content, and that we will do. What else it does? It does first. It is fast and secure because we use Next.js and Supabase. Then it does authentication. The features of our application. Authentication. Seamless user, maybe like that. Let's see what it is. Yeah, secure authentication. It's like this homepage is mainly like welcome to our Superbase. Next is like this is the application. Not it is like we are showing off what we done with the Superbase and next. And it is showing the importance of Superbase and the importance of next. So first we are saying it is fast and secure. It is the authentication. We have done the authentication here. And then what else? We also be will doing the data and the storage. Storage. So we'll store the data using Superbase, right? So something like this. So you can give your own definition. So it should, the only thing we have to concentrate mainly is the card. So let's see. These three has been appeared. So we have created the dashboard, navigation bar, and then we have created a div which has heading, paragraph, and a button with primary, and then we have created the section with three divs. With three divs, these are the cards. These cards are of three, holding the usage of this and usage or benefits or what it does, what this application is that application is for. So it is fast and secure, it does authentication, it does data storage. So this is what we have done. And then finally, we'll be having a footer. Okay. What we will do in the components, since we reuse it, what I said in the components, we'll be storing the reusable part. Okay. So we'll be having a navbar, loader, and a footer. So what we need to do, we need to create a footer.tsx. So we need to create a footer. So did you understand till now what is this application is for?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's code the footer part. The same we are going to. Footer will be simple, constant. You can do along with me or you can do without seeing this since it is simple. And then we will have the footer inside this. That is the semantic HTML. And I will provide some class name. The footer usually has the copyrights thing, those kind of part. So I'll give the class name and I'll make it as center. Usually in the footer, everything appears in the center. Center and three. I'm going to give the margin top and I'm going to give it as 5. Yeah, we'll be having the style to it. Background color white. Yeah, this is one this is one form of white. You can also give simply white. And then what else? As I said, copyright, all rights reserved and those kind of things. And I'm going to give a paragraph, mention it in a paragraph. And I am going to give super next is our application name dot all rights reserved maybe. Let's see how does this looks. There should be some. Okay, we didn't. So we already know we need to import just the footer and then we have to place it here. Import from and then I will just import after the section. Right. There is the footer. So it doesn't have an export because of that only it is showing the error. So let's see in the output. So we have some footer, but some alignment should be done, but don't worry, let's do that later. So maybe margin bottom, I will say it as 0. The paragraph. Class name. But okay, now the bottom is 0 since it is appearing in this way. Okay, there should be some. Okay, let's concentrate on the content and then let's do styling later. Maybe to make it more professional, we'll be using this comma that copyright thing, the date with the date. Okay, so for this we have this code copy, and then we can enclose it in a bracket so that the date appears. So new date dot get full year, maybe to get the year of the. So let's see. So this is the entity code for the C, and then since we done inside the braces the date, it year, it the year has been appeared. Is it clear till now, guys?
Yes, can you show it again? The code
Code?
for new date? Yes. Okay.
So I think it's enough for today, because there are so much so that you should revise. Yeah, do you have any doubt till now?
No, Kirtana.
Perfect.
No, Kirtana from my side.
Okay, done. So yeah, what else? Then after the navbar component, what else we have done? We have done the page.tsx, that is the home, and then we have done the footer component as well. Yeah, these are all the concepts we have done today. So yeah, you can stop the recording, Himani.
Okay.